Lyndon Baines Johnson came to power after the assassination of President Kennedy. He was determined to continue the policies of Kennedy, using his superior experience in the Congress to pass legislation. As such, Johnson succeeded in getting the Congress to pass the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and 1965. Together, they eliminated all forms of official discrimination in the U.S. and made it illegal to discriminate in the private sector. Johnson also passed a series of legislative acts that was known as the Great Society Program, its goal to eliminate poverty in the U.S. These are the successes that Johnson would have liked to have been remembered for. However, beyond the Great Society, Johnson is remembered for the Vietnam War. America first became involved in Vietnam when President Kennedy sent advisors to help South Vietnam. But it was under Johnson that American commitment deepened and U.S. troops began to take a direct role in the war. In its height, the U.S. had over 500,000 troops in Vietnam, and by the end of the war, 58,151 soldiers had lost their lives. Johnson decided not to run for re-election in 1968 after he lost the New Hampshire primary.
For 37 years in the service of our nation, first as a congressman, as a senator, and as vice president, and now as your president, I have put the unity of the people first. I have put it ahead of any divisive partisanship. And in these times, as in times before, it is true that a house divided against itself by the spirit of faction, of party, of region, of religion, of race, is a house that cannot stand. There is division in the American house now. There is divisiveness among us all tonight. And holding the trust that is mine as president of all the people, I cannot disregard the peril to the progress of the American people and the hope and the prospects of peace for all peoples. So I would ask all Americans, whatever their personal interests are concerned, to guard against divisiveness and all of its ugly